This is Justin AMZN. On Monday, June 25th, 2018, taking a look at the pre-market. So 2 days ago, we made an all-time high, and then we sold off, and then the next day we sold off. And today, we are getting ready to open up below our last support. Support line, I should say, not last support line we have on the screen. It kind of chopped around in here and then kind of rolled down, and it paused right at this line. So the fact that we're opening below it, this being a bearish candle from Friday, and then this would be a bearish retest gap. And pre-market, we actually have a little bit of an S-curve, a retest here. It'd be great to see that during the day, but this could count as the S-curve. This could be a bit of the rollover here, and it may continue lower. So we'll see what the open holds and see if we're able to hold any support here, if any of this works as resistance here on the day. So we'll step into the day then. So the first 5-minute candle we get is a little bit above support and a little bit below resistance, and it's a high wave candle. Really small body, very indecisive, and it's a good indication that we've got some we're just unsure of the direction, and we could go pop up from here up to this line, or we could just tank from here. And so this could be a setup where you get in below the low, stop above it, or if you're going to counter trend, you go bullish above the high and stop below, and that'd be like a 1-to-1 up to that line. So let's take a look at the next candle. Actually, hang on just a sec. Sorry about that. There was a really random noise in the house that I figured out what it was finally. But anyway, back to the video. Take a look at the next candle, and a huge bearish move. It's possible if you had this set up already that you got filled, or it may have just moved too quickly. But that is a massive bearish candle. What's strange is that the volume is actually lower than expected. I would expect this to be similar volume to, say, this bearish candle back here, and that would have been a little bit higher, but a significantly large candle, and around the same time, a lot of other things were selling off too. But right here, this is just an AMZN, so we're just going to focus on this. I don't know if we're going to have a retest back up into the pre-market lows, but that would be a great place to have another S-curve. But this, just looking at this, we had the S-curve like this, had an S-curve like this. This definitely counted as the S-curve for the pre-market. It's just unfortunate it was pre-market, and it went so quickly during the market. So way down here, obviously, is not the place to short. And we don't have any support lines down here. We'll take a look. We'll zoom back out. But the next support line we have, I think it was in the low 1600s. I'm not even sure. We haven't been down at this level in a little bit. And I didn't redraw any lines. The last thing we had down in this area was that flag that was coming in, a couple bearish candles, and that was it. So with this kind of move, the last 2 days being bearish candles, this being a bearish retest, I would expect we'd have another bearish candle. And this is what we were talking about just last week, that the bullish run just cannot last forever. It's not going to continue on. We're way beyond the number of candles after a squeeze, and it looked like it was continuing. So now we've got 2 daily candles that are bearish. Here comes a third, most likely, and we'll just have to see, okay, how low could we really go? And this may not be the low of the day. It'd be great to see this come back up, like I said, and we're not too far away. Another $6-7. Let's see, from here, Yeah, another like 6 or 7, and we're right into that low of the day. So that's what we're going to look for if that can move. So, okay, a little bit of stair step, 20 minutes of stair steps, and then it breaks lower. So this is a trade where you could take this lower after, stair stepping for 20 minutes. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So, 20 minutes here of stair step and then break lower. That's something you can get in on, especially taking out that lower wick. That's, buyers, that was a new low for the day. People are jumping in thinking, okay, that's it. We had a major sell-off. Now we're going to go higher. People had setups in here to buy. That's why this candle looks like a shaved bottom. Let's see the open and the low. Yep, that's a shaved bottom candle. But we took out that low. So this is definitely indecisive, broke bearish. Consolidation, broke bearish. We're bearish. We're bearish on the day. It doesn't mean we're bearish, overall on the trend or anything. It just means, okay, we got a bearish move on the 5 minute. Let's see if it's gonna carry on into larger time frames. But if you're not into this, look for a retest. Look for a retest back up to 1682 now. If not, 1694, 95, something like that. So we don't get a retest, at least yet. Continue to move lower, continue to move lower. There's some buyers coming in on this candle. There's some buyers coming on this candle. That's a really nice hammer candle. It's really large. Are we going to reverse off that candle? I don't know. This is 20 minutes of selling after, a pretty big move. I would expect some retracement. I'd expect some retracement up into, a shaved top candle, shaved bottom candle, something that was a bearish, a significant bearish level that would be a retest. So this is not the place to short. But some people are selling. Like that candle, there's a lot of selling. People think, okay, now get in, but they missed it. They missed that move here. So now this high on this candle is 1677.96, and the high on this candle is 1677.90. So by 6 cents we got above it, and people are selling off of that. So that is a great place to have selling. It's a shaved top. Was it a shaved top? Oh, it wasn't. The open and the high are 9 cents apart. So really close to a shaved top. I guess I can't see the wick. Yeah, I can't see the wick. But anyway, apparently it's there. So people are selling at this level. People are selling at the same level again here. I don't know what's going on from previous days, so we'll just go off of these candles this day and see the level. So this would be a great place to actually have sold right here and get your stop way back up here, or a stop here, somewhere where there's, again, another significant level for the bears. So, okay. So anybody who sold here, they pushed this back down. It gapped a little bit down to open, probably ran down, and then came back up. And they're break even right now. Now, it's not a panic thing. It's not like, oh, no, it's going to go way up. But, it's something that we were looking for the strong level. So more buyers, 20 minutes of buying after 20 minutes of selling, and it went much further. It looks like, okay, this could be a reversal. But the selling may not be done. I mean, we just made an all-time high. People are taking profits. This is normal to have a pullback through here. So now we've got a inverted hammer. Wow, I haven't thought bearishly in a little while. I'll have to brush up on my terminology. This was a hammer, and this is an inverted hammer. There you go. And it looks kind of bearish. We've almost got the 20 exponential here. We actually did come back up into the low of this candle. So this was 1682. This is 1682.59. Still, if you had gotten in here and you got to stop up here or here, you're still in. You're down slightly, but you're conservative, and rightly so. That we got this candle, thrown a wick way up here. So that would have been, it would have looked at some point like 22 minutes of buying, and then the candle reversed. You'd have to go look in the 1 minute to figure out exactly. But anyway, we retested a consolidation. We retested a previous low. We retested our previous breakdown. That's normal. That's completely normal to have it. This is a great candle to have at this location to either get in on this candle or to get in bearish below it and a stop above it. And that's the next setup. So this is a great place to get in bearish if you're not already in. So if this was going bullish, this would look like a little bit of a flag. But this is, again, another great candle to have at this level that people, more people think, okay, this is just a momentary pause. Now is the time to get in bullish. It's totally reversing. And, some people may have been triggered in bearish, and now they're worried, oh, I'm about to be stopped out. And if they're scared and they're jumping out, then they're having to buy to close the position. And that's what they're still doing. So now, we had 20 minutes of a stair step here. We got another 20 minutes of a stair step here. And we really need to move bearish very quickly. So we'll probably do it quickly, but I mean, we need to actually break below these lows, or we got to tighten up that stop a little bit more, or just know that we got to stop in a good spot and we're okay to lose. If your stop was up here at this point, you can move your stop down here. That's fine. If it's within your rules to do that after 20 minutes, it hasn't rolled over, you want to lock something in. But if you bought up here, if you sold up here and your stop is up here, you're actually up on the position slightly. So you only gave it 15 minutes to work. It's possible it could come back up a little bit higher. Totally possible. And then still roll over. We're bearish, so we got to let the bearish trade work, and it should work quickly. But right now it's just letting more bulls get in and get trapped when it rolls over. And there it goes. So now, after this candle, you can definitely move your stop above this wick, about here to 1684, and we're just going to watch this thing continue lower. Take a little bit of profit at the low of the day, and then look for it to continue. But if you're in, below the low, so if you're in by like 1675 by 1684, down here at the low of the day, you're going to be pretty close to, let's see, is it 2R? That should be more than 2R. Should be a few R, or at least more than 2R, maybe not quite 3R. My head's not doing math that quick right now because it's late. Anyway, we're going down. Okay, great. Nice pause here. I'm really liking 20 minutes of consolidation, 20 minutes of consolidation, stair step. Okay, we got 15, maybe 20 minutes of consolidation. Let's see this thing break a little lower. Okay, starting to. There it goes. So, these pauses, 20 minutes at this level, this is letting people buy, think it's going to continue, buy, think it's going to reverse, sell it, who think it's going to reverse, sell it, who are loading up for a continued move. And then same thing here. You got 20 minutes right here of more people thinking, oh, it's pausing here, let's buy. This is a lot of buyers right here. This candle is a lot of buyers being trapped. Not a ton, like the volume's not high, but I mean, people are thinking this is a higher low than this low. This is a retest of a Morningstar reversal. It's a retest of, breaking above this candle. This is the closest we're going to get. Let's buy here. Really small candle. Okay, this one at some point, 1, 2, 3 minutes into that candle, it was way up here. This looks like a Morningstar reversal here, a much smaller one, something you can get a better risk on. So people's stops are right here, pretty tight, below that wick, maybe below that wick, looking for it to just continue to rally up, because that's what it's been doing. It would come down, make a Morningstar reversal, come up, retest that level, and then continue higher. That's what it did here. People are looking for it to happen again here. And let's see, that time of the day is about 10 o'clock. That time of day is a little bit after 10 o'clock. So similar time of day, people think, okay, it's going bullish now, because that's what it did yesterday or Friday. And it's not happening. It's rolling over. So people are getting stopped out. People are getting trapped. I don't know what this wick is. If there were some people buying here thinking it's going to, like, this is newbies thinking, okay, I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy to go bullish because I should have bought here. But it's already given so many signals. It's going bearish. That upper wick, a breakdown below support, below some lows, below a bullish candle, stuff like that. I mean, it's just going lower. So some nice small candles. This is 25 minutes of selling. We'll see how many more we get. Nope, get a little more buying. Okay, so we come back up. Our stop is right up here. Again, we're giving this some space to work because we're bearish. You could tighten up your stop here, but I wouldn't do it with that candle. I wouldn't tighten it yet. Once we had another bearish candle move back down, then I would tighten the stop up to 1679. And see, the high in this candle was 1677.65, and the high in this candle was 1677.89. So, you know, had you kept your stop above that candle, is that a shaved top? 7 cents off. 7 cents this time. Okay. So had you moved your stop right here, you'd still be in. Unless you got some weird fill by your broker. But anyway, now we can move the stop here. We're going to look for this to be an evening star reversal and just continue. So right now we've got a little bit of a squeeze. Evening star reversal off of the 20-minute exponential, which we just rejected about an hour earlier. Let's see what happens. This is great. These two candles here, a little bit of a consolidation, indecisive candle right here. It's a bearish engulfing. This is the kind of candle that says, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do, so, you know, just wait for the next candle. But if you're already in bearish, you just want it to break bearish. If you are thinking bullish, some people are buying off of this and thinking it's going to move up higher. I don't know into what level, into this level, into this level, into this level, then reverse. But we just rolled over. We broke down again. We took out this low. So instead of this being a higher low, instead of this being a higher low, now we've made another lower low from here. Again, our next target is way down here. And we get there very quickly. We shot down here. We bought back up. We bought back up to the low. So the low on that candle is 1658. The close on this candle is 1657.26. So we almost bought back up to that low. That is a retest of that value. I'm not sure if we're going to pause right here again, but let's see. Okay, bought up a little bit more. Oh, that's great. Look at that. We bought all the way back up to that low and actually into the bodies of these candles. This is the next place that you could, load up bearish if you're not in yet. So, because this is a breakdown and a retest, this looks like an S-curve. The previous S-curve here, this one was retesting the low of this candle. These candles, these wicks, this S-curve is retesting these candles and these bodies here. And so we could draw some more lines in. So I'll have to look back and see, okay, 1665, is that a good level? 1682, is that a good level? And see, previously, did we have something around there? So we'll take a quick look at that. Our squeeze fired, and we are retesting the low of the candle that it actually fired bearish with. So we're a few bars in, but this is still a place with how much selling is going on. This is still a good place to be shorting at a retest. We allowed it to retest. It could still stair step a little bit longer, but this is the value to get in bearish 1665 with a stop up at least around 1674, maybe even 1678, but that's just going to be a much larger risk if this is your first position to get in. So stair step, there you go. And then so we stair stepped, broke down. This is a bearish engulfing, retest to that level one more time. And now we're starting to break down that candle. And a lot more stair steps. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is like 9 candles. At this point, it's not so much stair steps. I think that's supposed to be like 2 to 8 bars. But we're still, still holding strong with the resistance right here at 1665. That's holding. And now it's starting to break down. Retest again. So this one, this being a relative low, or could actually be considered, it's a lower close, but it's still, kind of a relative low on the day. Slightly lower here, much lower here. Got a little bit of a retest, a little bit higher. Now we're rolling over again, but we're still not breaking this level really strong. Got a squeeze fired again. So had you gotten in, on a retest here, then we didn't quite make it to the low of the day. And as it came back up, we could tighten up our stop, from our stop being up here to our stop being around here, a little bit above, and then once this candle comes in and we roll back down, now your stop is right above it, and we can start playing aggressively to see if we can exit for a small profit or exit for break even. You know, if you hold your stop here, 1664, you know, you're slightly up, and then it actually does start to roll over again. So now you've got a target here at the previous low, and your next target is here, taking a little bit of a at each position. But you know, this consolidation here, you want to see it continue to roll over. It does, and it actually does continue breaking lower. Now we're down at 1650. We're below this low, but it took us a lot longer to, you know, we had a new low, had a little bit of a higher low, and then we broke that and made a new low. We have a new low, make a little bit of a higher low, and then we break that over here finally on this candle. And that just seemed to take a little longer than from this higher low to a new low. From this higher low to a new low took, what is that, almost 2 hours. This one took in less than an hour, 45 minutes or so. So that just means that, you know, the bearishness is slowing down and it's taking a longer time. You know, there's more consolidation here, more people buying. Look at all the bullish candles. Look at these. We still take out the low. So people are slowing this down, trying to buy, trying to find a good price to buy. But overall, it's still bearish. That's why I'm making lower lows in the day. But in here, you know, we got to really look back. 1650 is a nice round number. 1700 was a nice round number. We collapsed through that. We're all the way down at 1650. Nice round number. Got a Morningstar reversal here with an indecisive candle right here. A little bit higher volume on this one. Well, I guess maybe not quite. So this is a great pattern to consider that we could have a move a bit higher. We've already retested this level. You know, we could retest the 1665 from down here and then roll over. Or, you know, we've really put in a lot of lower lows and lower highs all day. It just needs to rest some. It's had its move. These, you know, this opening hour, this rollover, you know, into the later morning, you know, all of this was its big move. This has just been really choppy, and it could be getting ready to go a little bit higher. No, but not quite yet. It made a lower low here. So, you know, calm the bottom. You know, I didn't set up a trade saying, okay, you know, let's definitely get in, you know, the move above this. You know, we want to see some conviction, so that'd be a close above it. Otherwise, there's not really any clear value saying, okay, we're definitely going higher. We just have some wicks, which indicate that there's selling pressure. So, walk from our candles in. Okay, now we've got a bunch of buying. This is breaking out bullish. I want to see that retest back down into, let's call it 1657. We'll see if we can pull back to that and then buy, and that'll be reverse. And that was right into the I didn't realize that was right at the close. We wouldn't have been doing that at the close, not on a day trade. So anyway, that's the day. And then into the close is just sideways, which is the same kind of thing we had happen yesterday. So it's a bearish retest. We did lots of retesting during the day, even this, but all day we made, you know, a high, lower high, sort of lower high, lower high, lower high, and actually lower high. And then all day we made, you know, a new low, a fake higher low, a new low, a fake higher low, a new low, and a really nice consolidation. So this is a bit of a wedge coming in here. At least the way my eyes are seeing it. But you know, we'll see if we get any sort of pop at this level. Let me zoom out and show you. This was the consolidation we had. This flag a few days ago, more than a few days ago, going back to the 7th of June. Wow. So the low on that candle is right here. We kind of paused at the 16. No, we didn't even pause there. 1671. We didn't really, I mean, we paused there, but we didn't really pause there. So what else could be working? There. Oh, that would be a good value. So the high here, 60, well, let's call it 1665. That would have been a great value to have been drawn in. So 1665 is what we talked about. This low, this high, and this high. It looks like that value is in play again because of we had a close there. And so let me jump back over to the daily. And I didn't zoom in on this yet. Okay, so we've retested some of our bullish retest gaps on the daily. We retested, so 1665. Close on that candle. So do we make a new all-time high in that one? Not that one. We made a new all-time high in that candle, and we just retested to that previous all-time high. So the close on that candle is 1665.27. I think that's probably the significance of where we were at today. Not necessarily for the close, but just the values that we were holding. 1665.27. If we were to draw that in. Yeah, that would have been really close to these. So the close on that one. 1666. Yeah, anyway, 1665 is right in that area. So that totally makes sense that that's a value that we're pausing at, both on the way back down and then retesting and then retesting again and rolling down. And then we've come almost back up to it into the close, which is phenomenal. If we take a step over to options, you could have been trading this with a breakdown below. Each one of these that's a retest, into a previous value, you're going to want to look for a little bit lower options price. So if we jump over to the puts, and we had, that indecisive candle to open, didn't look too indecisive here. There were a lot of people selling to, push or to give us an upper wick, push the close price back down. So this would have been the first big bearish move down to here, and then a bit of a pullback, and that would have been able to buy that around 1,000 by 900 and just ride that. And this is the lower high or the higher low that we saw on the daily that we're now getting as a lower high from this value. And pull back. So could have bought here at 1,000. That would have been up here, or retested that, and then we had this that retested that stair step. So that would have been buying, 12 by maybe 1,000, or maybe 11, something like that. And then that rallied, and that took out a new high. So once it takes out a new high, then it's going to sell back down, and would have had to have been more aggressive with the entry here because it looks like it didn't quite get back down to this price on the options for the rest of the day. So yeah, it doesn't, okay, the very end of the day, it came back to 1,600. So anyway, if any of these would have been buying opportunities where we have a bit of a retest, looks like we're in S-curve, yep, looks like we're in S-curve, yep, looks like we're in S-curve, a little bit of something, looks like an S-curve, yep, it's back down and then comes back up here. And then this price is the 1,600 that I don't think it was this one, I think it was, what's the last one? 1245. Where's the 16? Yeah, so we're there. So let's say 1245. We'll come back over here and see. Okay, 1245 was this. Yeah, so that's the secondary retest of that low. That tells us, okay, that's a good place to roll over again, and it doesn't. Down in, I say 1245, buying in here, buying puts in here, and then rallying all the way up. So you could have bought for 1245. So let's say you bought for 17, just for the exercise. Bought at 17, it trades up to probably 24. That's $700 with a $100 risk. That's $700. That's pretty good. Or you held out a little bit longer, you got an extra R if it filled, and then it just rolled over into the close. And really, there were a couple places to be bullish, but they were in between some big bearish moves. And so if you had waited till the end of the day, you could have bought at 6 and stopped down at 5 and just let that ride up to 2R with a $100 risk. But that would not have been very much to make on that. It would have been counter trend, would have been in and out pretty quick. There were some other opportunities in the day here to get some rallies. So if we come back in after that candle, if somebody had bought the stop below, that's what this is, I believe, here. So you would have had to have a little bit larger R in order to make that risk work. But you could have ridden that up for an R, maybe a little bit more, to retest this value in here. And because there's more, I was going to say this is the call that you could have bought. But anyway, plenty of places to load in bearish, a couple to load in bullish, to trade both directions or to pick one direction and just go that way. But we had a really nice move down, very quick move down, and our move up is not finished. So we may come down a little bit further. This is now a bearish retest. It could retest, could look like a bullish rally, and then just could sell some more. So I'm trying to see if it looks like anything else that we've got recently. Maybe this, but it's, I mean, we just made all-time high, so it's not from here, but I have a gap down after a bearish candle, so bearish retest gap. Tomorrow could gap down, trade down a little bit more, trade back up. It could look like this candle pair. I'm not sure where else to compare to. So not so much else in this screen, but let's see if anything else pops up. Just look at this. We're almost to value for a filling the high price, but that's a little just a tiny bit further down. It doesn't have to get there. I would much rather come all the way back down to 1618, bounce there, or throw a wick down, and I'd have to see the rest of the moving averages to see where those line up. But yeah, if you're embarrassed, then just hang out for the ride, lock in some gains as you go, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow to see what happens with this. Thanks, hope you enjoyed the video. This is just an AMZN.